What you're about to see is a 20-second clip that instantly turned Jaden Smith into the internet's favorite punchline.
Because I was picking up more things from adults than I were from kids my own age. And I look, and I go around sometimes and I hang out with other people that are my age, and they're just kind of just, selfie. I'm just like, dude, like, oh my God, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now? Can we talk about what's going on with the environment? Can we talk about...
However, people choose to ignore the very important context stated right before that cringy clip.
Put me, like, they would be having a meeting about their next film or something, and they would put me at the head of the table and just make me sit there while they're talking, debate with all these people, talk numbers, talk crazy stuff.
He spent way more time around adults than kids his own age. Instead of playing, his free time was filled with high-level business meetings with his parents, Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, sitting in rooms where serious conversations were happening that he barely even understood. And here's the thing, Jaden's parents never really told him no. They let him do whatever his heart wanted, believing that total freedom would strengthen their bond. Behind the scenes, there was a carefully planned vision for Jaden to be born and raised as a superstar. And honestly, it blew up in their faces. By just 15 years old, Jaden wanted to be legally emancipated from his parents, ended up getting quietly blacklisted in Hollywood, and eventually became one of the most mocked figures online. For most people, their first introduction to Jaden was back in 2006 with his film debut in The Pursuit of Happiness. Usually, young actors start small to build experience, but Will Smith had a different plan. He put his 7-year-old son into a $55 million feature film, acting directly alongside him. The problem? The studio didn't want Jaden anywhere near the co-star role. The movie tells the real story of Chris Gardner, a struggling San Francisco salesman trying to build a future for himself and his 5-year-old son after being abandoned by his partner. Since the entire film revolves around a father-son bond, casting a real father and son made sense, and many people say it worked beautifully. But getting Jaden cast was anything but easy. Despite being Will Smith's son, Jaden still had to audition like everyone else. In Will's memoir, Will, he explained that director Gabriele Muccino had already seen nearly 500 child actors and was struggling to find the right Christopher Jr. Around that time, Jaden showed interest in acting, and Will and Jada agreed to let him audition. Muccino wanted Jaden immediately, but the studio shut it down. Will wrote that the director told him, "I wanted Jaden from the first moment I met him, but the studio wouldn't allow me to ask." Executives believed it would kill the movie's credibility. They thought audiences wouldn't suspend disbelief seeing a real father and son on screen, and they were terrified of backlash over nepotism. Eventually, Jaden was allowed to do a screen test with Will, which turned into 9 auditions, something almost unheard of for a 6-year-old. The studio still didn't want the headache, but audition after audition, Jaden proved himself, at least on paper. Some people still question whether he truly earned it, or if the studio just gave up fighting Will Smith. Either way, it didn't matter. The film was a massive success, pulling in over $300 million worldwide. Their natural chemistry carried the movie, and both Will and Jaden earned award nominations. Jaden later said his parents never pressured him to follow their path, but he did grow up with a camera constantly in his face. Plenty of parents film their kids. Will just did it on a whole different level.
Dad would just film me and my sister, and we would make Trade Tricks, Matrix spin-off.
It's not uncommon for...
It's not shocking when celebrity kids follow the same career path. Jaden landed another major role in The Day the Earth Stood Still, plus a surprise appearance on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. But now imagine every random childhood idea actually being funded, because that's exactly what happened. At just 10 years old, Jaden decided he wanted to start a water company, Just Water. And to be fair, the idea came from seeing plastic bottles everywhere and wanting to reduce waste. His parents backed him fully, helping create an eco-friendly bottle made with 82% renewable materials. The brand didn't even hit shelves until 2015, but by 2019, it was being sold in over 10 countries and 15,000 stores across North America. And somehow, I still never got a sponsorship, which makes me extra thankful for today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Even though Jaden wanted to change the world, his extreme privilege clearly shaped his mindset. He seemed to forget that his parents' money made his ventures possible, meaning he didn't need education the way everyone else did. He once tweeted that if everyone dropped out of school, society would actually be more intelligent. Jaden was homeschooled early on because Will wanted his kids with him on movie sets, famously saying being with him was more valuable than sitting in a classroom. In 2009, Will and Jada opened New Village Leadership Academy in Calabasas. Jaden and Willow enrolled, and according to ABC News, the curriculum included yoga, karate, robotics, technology, math, Spanish, art, and living skills. As he got older, Jaden took to social media to criticize traditional education.
We're preparing everybody to go to prison through the schools.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, the people that are not doing good in the grades, oh, you're doing like this, oh, you went to the detention, da-da-da-da. There's too many correlations between public schools and prison.
That's when he earned the unofficial crown of, "I'm 14 and this is deep." Yes, the American education system has flaws, and maybe in theory, New Village's approach could help kids. But here's the issue. Tuition was $22,000 a year, and the school eventually shut down after parents learned the curriculum was heavily influenced by Scientology. So when Jaden says things like, "School brainwashes the youth," or "Education is rebellion," it doesn't land as revolutionary. It lands like a rich kid who had every resource imaginable and assumes anyone could succeed if they just tried hard enough. In 2010, Jaden hit what would become the peak of his career with the Karate Kid remake. And yes, it was Will Smith's idea. Jaden even admitted his dad pitched it, and everyone knew Will was a little crazy, but they trusted him anyway. What Jaden didn't realize was that blindly following his father would later come back to haunt him. Jaden starred while his parents worked behind the scenes as producers through Overbrook Entertainment. The remake changed key elements of the original 1984 film. Instead of a New Jersey kid moving to California, Jaden's character Dre Parker moves from Detroit to China, facing intense culture shock. The bullying storyline remained, but iconic wax-on, wax-off training was replaced with repetitive jacket movements. Karate, which originated in Okinawa, Japan, was swapped out entirely for Chinese Kung Fu. The original producer even considered renaming the film The Kung Fu Kid, but stuck with the familiar title for marketing reasons. Jackie Chan played Mr. Han, Dre's mentor and secret kung fu master, and casting Jackie Chan almost guaranteed success. His influence in China was so massive that the production received access no other film could, including permission to shoot at the Great Wall of China and the forbidden.
Made fun of him.
Jaden Smith lets his parents do whatever they want. You know what? The guys at work, they took a bet on who would win in a fight, you or Jaden Smith, and they all said Jaden Smith could kick your ass.
Key and Peele also made fun of him.
I mean, it's hard being Will Smith's son. I just want to make sure my next project reflects that I'm a down-to-earth, normal kid. Am I making any sense?
Not
So after shining in The Karate Kid and dropping that chart-smashing Never Say Never with Justin Bieber, Jaden's career looked unstoppable. He was 12, a global superstar, living the dream. $1 million upfront, another $2 million bonus after the movie's release, YouTube views in the billions, and a resume that basically screamed Hollywood royalty. But in 2013, everything came crashing down. Enter After Earth, the post-apocalyptic father-son vehicle with Will Smith, designed to launch an entire multimedia empire. Movies, TV shows, video games, theme parks, even a social media platform with Jaden as the face. Will's goal? Turn his son into a real-life Mickey Mouse, a brand that could be milked for billions. But Jaden, he quickly realized he was just a pawn in Dad's billionaire game and tried to pull away. The film itself? A distant future survival story where Will plays General Cypher, a legendary soldier who can ghost, and Jaden plays his son, Katai, struggling to keep up. Crash landing on Earth, Jaden's character is forced to grow up fast, facing deadly alien creatures called Ursas. Critics weren't kind. Many saw it as painfully obvious that Jaden's chances came from family connections, not talent. The film underperformed, making $243 million on a $230 million total budget, including marketing, and earned 6 Golden Raspberry noms. Jaden won Worst Actor, Will Worst Supporting Actor, and together, Worst Screen Combo. In real life, Will later admitted the film crushed their relationship. Jaden had faithfully followed his dad's plan and got publicly humiliated for it. South Park didn't spare him, and neither did endless articles and tweets.
Second, but is aware only of 40. In an average lifetime, human skin completely replaces itself 900 times. You see your nose all the time. Your brain just chooses to ignore it.
He did
Everything Jaden had achieved up to this point, the pursuit of happiness, Karate Kid, even just water, was because of Will. And he blindly followed his dad, trusting him completely, as any child would. But when the empire collapsed, the blame fell squarely on Jaden. He was furious. At one point, he even asked to be emancipated. His parents were heartbroken, but understood why he felt trapped. They realized their mistakes had made him feel anything but normal. He didn't go through with emancipation, but he started carving his own path. And yes, that path made the world hate him even more. He dove headfirst into his own thoughts, tweets, and philosophical musings. How can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real? Sometimes pretentious, often misunderstood, but unmistakably his. At 14, he was finally thinking for himself. In interviews, he called himself a scientist of humanity, even comparing his approach to Galileo. Finally, the criticism was about him, his ideas, his creations, not just his famous last name.
This is one of the best produced melodic hip-hop albums of the 2010s. The most prominent.
And Jaden? He became a bona fide fashion trailblazer. Known for his androgynous style, he blurred the lines between menswear and womenswear with skirts, dresses, oversized layers, and bold prints. He made headlines in a white Batman suit at prom, the Met Gala, and Kim and Kanye's wedding. Sure, it got him bullied and trolled, especially when he teased a rumored relationship with Tyler, the creator. The ambiguity sparked curiosity worldwide. But then came Sire, his 2017 album that even critics couldn't ignore. Yes, the lyrics still had his trademark, "I'm 14 and this is deep" energy, but the production? A flawless 10 over 10. The single Icon, while not hitting the Billboard Hot 100, went double platinum and racked up over 184 million views. People couldn't deny it. Jaden was finally proving himself on his own terms.
Track is nothing short of a banger. Many people criticize him for calling himself an icon.
I think what it means to be an icon is being able to take extreme amounts of hate. The only reason that they receive that hate is because they do things that other people don't.
In 2019, he dropped Eris. Darker, more experimental, exploring themes beyond just being Will Smith's kid. He openly acknowledged the privilege he'd been born into, but tried to turn it into an advantage for others. His charitable ventures are wild. Misfits Rep, promoting sustainable fashion, the Water Box, providing clean water nationwide, and the I Love You vegan food truck, giving free meals to LA's homeless. Yes, he was once the ultimate cringe Nepo baby, but he's using that spotlight to do good. And honestly, nothing he's done will ever top the public humiliation Will Smith faced over the past few years.